confused.
Right? Hey, Bourbon Bros KC, Mike here,
Heath?
and we have an addition, Derek from Ash Anvil in Gardner, Kansas.
Hi, everybody.
So we, again, I'll say it again, we're out of the basement. We have decided, we've met with Derek. Derek owns a cigar lounge in an outside area and a speakeasy.
Yep.
Close to us. So we are going to start doing some lives, and we are going to, our goal here, we've talked about this, we are going to be picking a bourbon. We're going to try the bourbon, and then Derek is going to, he's going to tie a cigar that will go best with that bourbon. So,
Yes, I'm excited to do it.
yeah, this is something we've been looking forward to. This is our first live on this, so there was little technical difficulties, but we're going to get it rolling. The goal tonight, what we're going to do is we'll try the bourbon first. He'll pair a cigar. He'll take you around. You can see the place around here. If you're local, we'd love for you to come down here. He'll take you in the humidor, pick a cigar. We'll try the cigar, and I think we'll talk about the notes in the bourbon, but also on something I had no idea about. Cigars have notes. So,
Oh, of course, yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue. When I smoke a cigar, it tastes good or it doesn't taste good
Right,
to me. So, just like when I first tried bourbon, I had no clue, and so now there'll be some education on cigars.
Sure.
All about cigars, how they're made, and so we we're gonna do at the end of the live, we're gonna do a cornhole. We'll be with people that are out here at the cigar lounge. We're gonna randomly pick two people. They'll be part of a team with Heath and one with Derek, and the winner will receive a bottle labeled with Bourbon Bros KC of the bourbon that we actually brought and we're comparing that night. And we'll do a different bourbon every time.
And they'll get a cigar.
And they'll get
A cigar that we're gonna that I'll select and we'll smoke and pair with the bourbon as well.
Yeah. So again, we'll have some. Also, at some point, we'll just when the live's over, we're gonna take some random names that were on the live, watching this live, and we're gonna reach out, get some of your information, and we've got some merch we'd like to send you. I don't know what the merch might be, but we that's something we're gonna do also. So hopefully you stick with us. We're gonna fly here and figure this thing out, and hopefully each time we get a little bit better. We give some more education, learn about bourbon and cigars, and we all do it as we do it together. So
yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is a cool opportunity, and I'm glad you guys invited me and brought me in on this. I love talking, and I love talking about cigars, and I like learning about whiskey. So I think that we're in very similar boats where when I first started smoking cigars, I was the same way. It was either good or bad. I didn't really taste notes or anything, and I'm still at that point in whiskeys. So I'm getting better, but learning to dive deeper into the flavors and picking up some of those,
some of the notes,
some of the different things going on within and developing my palate. So
yeah, and we're the same way too. When we started, our very first one, which I will tell you that the people behind the cameras said that I was probably, I was difficult for somebody who's going to cut and create a video. So I've had to draw in a little bit, but we're getting better at this.
The good thing is there's no edits here.
There is no edits here.
This is an easy edit. This is just live.
So we're excited about this. I think this could be a really good thing. Again, follow us. I mean, make some comments. There's some people watching the comments on TikTok. We're on a couple different social medias. We're on YouTube. YouTube under Bourbon Bros KC. I think it's Twitch under Bourbon Bros KC, and also TikTok.
Yep.
So right now we're going out to those media outlets, and I think you've even asked some people to put it out.
Yep, yep. So I've asked, some of the other owners here with me and people involved in the business, as well as friends and people that I know in the industry, to share it and spread the word. So
Yeah. So I think this can turn into something a good time, but it's also learning. And again, if you're local to anywhere close to Gardner, Kansas, come on down. We're, like I said, we'll have some giveaways. He's got you'll see in a little bit a humidor that is spectacular.
thank you.
And his assortment is outstanding. And we're just, again, we're the three of us. We found that we fit very well, and it's a good fit. That we think we could provide some information, a good time. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, Derek, why don't you tell us, just before we
Sure.
pop this bottle, tell us a little bit about your journey to where tonight with this, maybe really quickly about the building, so when they see
Sure.
it, they will know.
Sure. So I'll start with I opened this cigar shop with my family, my uncle, my dad, my brother, my sister, and all of our spouses. We started this. We're coming up on our 3-year mark for this cigar shop, and then the bar was definitely not an afterthought, but it opened up second, and it took us a long time. We did all the work ourselves, and very proud of it. But the Speakeasy, the Forge Speakeasy, and then the Bellows patio bar outside, and it was a lot of work, but a labor of love, and I'm so glad that we're here. Before I got into opening this, I was a high school teacher, and I taught here in Gardner, and I taught earth and space science, so geology, astronomy, meteorology, but really, ever since I was a little kid, I was kind of obsessed with science, especially paleontology and dinosaurs and space astronomy. So I taught for 5 years at the high school here, and really loved it. Thought that I'd continue teaching, but this part-time gig that I came up with turned into way more than full-time. So here I am running this every day instead. And I'm so glad for the opportunity to do stuff like this, as well as educate customers as they come through the door about tobacco and how to smoke and how to enjoy it and get the most out of your cigar, but also teaching people how to appreciate different whiskeys and different liquors as well. So something that I'm passionate about is that education side of it.
Yeah. Well, when we came here for the first time, it definitely, I'm one of those wimps with the cigar. I try to go a little higher, but I think, in my view, the darker the cigar, the stronger it's going to be, right? It's going to kick your butt. So I'm kind of like one of those mild guys. I like to kind of, I don't want to wake up tomorrow and not be able to talk.
Huh.
But
is that true? Is
Well, hopefully through this
okay,
series,
this education.
we'll dispel some of the myths.
Okay.
And learn about the darker cigars and why you may enjoy a darker cigar more, and what those myths are and why they're in place.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's the first thing when I came in here. I told Derek, this is what I like. He said, well, try this and go through this, and he gave me a couple different options. And so far, every cigar that I've come across has been a hit.
Nice.
I've even bought some, got some at home. So, I guess maybe we should just get into it, right?
Let's do it.
You want to talk about
sure.
the barrel?
So we're obviously doing holiday. It's the soft red wheat. Mash bill is 73% corn, 15% wheat, and 12% barley. So this is a local Missouri distillery that does everything in house. So that's what's cool about this is it's local to us. So
yeah, it's the oldest distillery this side of the Mississippi. And if you haven't been up there and toured the facility, it is gorgeous. It is amazing. But this actually happens to be my very favorite whiskey.
So, and something we talked about when we were kind of setting this up, we talked about, let's not, we could easily, let's go get an antique 107 or something, that people can't find. The goal here is to pick a bourbon that people can find, right? And a cigar that people can go look for. So it's not about trying to find the unicorn. It's again, it's just about a good pour. So again, something when I was reading about the holiday, again, I love this bourbon. They don't source their bourbon.
yeah, it's all in house. They have brick houses on site. They're bottling, distilling, everything right there. in western Missouri.
Yeah.
Yep.
And aren't you doing something with Holiday?
I just I just got a barrel, and I'm getting ready to start doing a project with Holiday, aging cigars
Nice.
and doing a cool one-off project with them. I'm looking forward to that. It's like I said, it's my favorite whiskey, and actually the barrel that I have in the shop right now, it's off camera, but it is a bottle of the soft red wheat, and so it's kind of cool to tie it all together with this. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll again we're gonna take this pour. This
Okay.
is again it's the soft red wheat. It's not bottled and bond or anything, is it?
yeah, I believe this is the bottle and bond.
Yeah, it is bottled and bond.
6 years old. So bottled in or put in a barrel in 17, and then bottled in 2023.
So
So I mean, if you're in the area, like local Kansas, Missouri, you can find this anywhere.
No, what does bottled and bond mean?
So go. You want to do it?
go for it. Go for it.
So bottled and bond means that it has to be distilled and bottled in that air, like at that rick house, at that
Okay.
distillery. It's got to be 4 years old, and it's got to be at least
Minimum 4 years old.
minimum
Right?
4 years old. It goes in the barrel, I think, at 125 proof, and then they once they proof it down, it's 100 proof. So
And it's got to
gotta be
be
there.
100 proof.
Yeah.
It's got to
can't
be 100 proof.
It can't be less than 100 proof.
Okay.
And it can't
and I
be
think
more
that's
than
the
100
myth about most people is like bourbon. Everybody thinks bourbon has to come from Kentucky. Bourbon can be anywhere in the United States,
Right.
as long as it's in a new oak charred barrel. Like it can be anywhere. And I think that's what we've noticed is you can find bourbon anywhere now. Like
Yeah.
everyone's kind of doing their own variation of bourbon. Like it, you picked one up in Maine. I picked
one
up
up in
other
Maine,
places.
right.
Like
Yeah.
everyone's doing their variation because bourbon's taken off. I know everyone talks about bourbon's kind of leveling off, but I don't know. I think people are still chasing it. But I think the great thing about this is chase something you like that fits your palate versus just chasing a label.
Right.
Find something that you
unicorn,
really
right?
like. Yeah, find
Right.
something you really like, and it's great to chase unicorns. We like to do that.
Absolutely.
But find something you like that you drink all the time, that you can find at your store versus, going somewhere and paying $100 for something that you don't know if it's good or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we talked about that before, and you just said it, but this is one that you can find
Anywhere.
pretty much anywhere around
And
here.
I think most states carry this. I
Yeah.
mean, when people talk about this, there's all over on social media. This is known as a heck of a pour, right?
Right.
There's
And I think the
nothing.
great thing, like what you're saying, is like this has great. I mean, it's won awards. It's a great bourbon. Like, it has a great following.
Yeah, it's and again local to us, so it's good for us. So I mean, it comes off sweet.
Yeah.
A little bit, a little spice there. Again, I've never claimed to be able to pick up all the notes. I'm getting better at it, just like the notes on a cigar. Right, very first time I was like, well, I don't know, I just like it because it's hot.
you like it or you don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So I guess we can try this, and then
All right.
maybe you can figure out,
sure.
what your thoughts are on that big selection of cigars in there.
Yeah. So at 100 proof, you're not getting a ton of heat on there.
No.
It's a good drink,
Little spice on the tongue you get, which is good, right? It
Yeah.
gives you that little.
but it's not overwhelming.
No, not at all. It's an easy drink. It's one that
Right.
if someone comes over and is like, I don't know if I like bourbon or not. This is when you pick
Right.
and say, try this, right? Because this is a good representation of a good pour, right?
Yeah.
Are you picking up any notes on it?
So I get sweet. I mean, I get fruit on a lot of it. I mean, you get your typical vanilla, caramel, that
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
note, like you get in with any bourbon. But yeah,
I
it's
get
more
it.
on the sweeter side.
A nuttiness,
Okay.
especially right at the beginning of that sip. There's a little bit of nuttiness there, I think. Okay.
Yeah, again. I think it's known to be a very good bourbon, a very good pour.
So what would you pick this up for?
I got it for $60, $59.
So $60. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
$60, right? I
So
mean,
that's
it's
good. And I think that's what it goes for pretty much everywhere you can find it.
Right.
yeah, it's good in
Somewhere
line
in that
with that.
range. Yeah.
And again, it's not one that when you're going to walk in, it's going to be behind.
Yeah, it's a good shelf. You're gonna find on the
It's
shelf.
not behind the
like,
counter.
yep.
You have to ask for it, right? It's
Yeah.
it's a shelved bourbon.
This is not gonna be a Weller that you got to ask for. Hey, where's my allocated bourbon?
Right.
You can find this on the shelf where you want.
So
Well, it is very good. Like I said, it is.
Yeah.
I'm new to the bourbon world. I've tried a lot of bourbons. I've sampled a lot of stuff, and with the bar,
Yeah.
I sell a lot of bourbon. But I'm not real knowledgeable on it, and most of my experience has been, do I like it or not? And then with the cocktail bar next door, a lot of my experience is, how do I put this into a cocktail? And so, I'm not real knowledgeable on it, but this is very good.
But I think that's the best thing about it is, do you like it or not? Like,
Right.
I mean,
Well, that's
everyone's got to find their palate, because like we've bought stuff that doesn't fit our palate that we would never drink, but yet everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So I mean, probably
Right.
the same thing with cigars.
Cigars are the same way.
You get something, people are like, this is amazing. You're like, I just don't see it.
Right.
Right. So I mean, you got to find your palate and chase what you think. I think the greatest thing about going and bourbon hunting, that kind of stuff, is the places that will let you sample stuff.
Yeah.
Then you can see if you really like it or not.
Right.
Unfortunately, in Kansas, you can't do that.
Maybe one day.
Heath took me to one of his places. Heath's in Missouri. And I walked in, and the guy hands me a glass and said, "Which one you want to try?" And I'm like, "You allowed to do that here?" So
Yeah.
and that is kind of cool, right? Because they have a lot of their new ones they have on the right there. They'll
Sure.
give you a pour. You can see if you like it. And that's one reason we started talking about this, is to say, if you don't know if you like the bottle or not, but we'll try it. We'll get a bottle, and we'll let you know what we think.
Right.
But, for what matters by us, but
Yeah, but it's like watching anybody. I mean, it's all about someone's palate.
someone's palate. That's
Sure.
I
exactly
mean,
right.
they could love a bourbon that you hate, or a whiskey, or whatever it may be, but you have to chase stuff that you think you like.
Sure.
And once you find that, I feel like then you can really chase that bottle or that distillery or whatever it may be.
Yeah. That's in the cigar world. I own this and have learned a lot about cigars, but really in the cigar world, I'm pretty new to it as well. I mean, I didn't even start smoking cigars until 2019, and we opened this in 2021.
Yeah.
Well, I guess 2022, but it was a fast learning curve for me, and I latched on to some of those reviewers and some of those podcasters
Sure.
and bloggers. And I found some that my palate aligns really well with theirs,
Right.
and kind of followed along with what they're doing. And I found some that I definitely did not align with.
Yeah.
And I've grown to the point now, I've smoked enough now, probably like you guys have with bourbon, where even if it's not something that's necessarily in my palate, something that I really absolutely love, I can appreciate it. I've learned to appreciate
Sure.
and pull something from the cigar that, okay, it's not something that I'm going to have every day. It's not something that I'm going to go to often, but there's something there, and I can appreciate it for what it is, and learn, to kind of love it.
Yeah, because I think probably the same thing in the whiskey bourbon world is probably the same cigar. Like we have like what we would say is our daily pour.
Mhm.
You probably have something you say your daily cigar. Like
Right.
this is what I'm going to go to. I know it's good. Like great smoke. Same thing with the bourbon. It's a great pour. It tastes great. And kind of go from there.
Yeah. Again, you've created. I will say this down here. You have created an environment here. You got this. You got the lounge, and he's got it out. He's got outside, out back. They've got fire pits. They've got cornhole. They've got chairs. They've got an outside bar. Thursday through Sunday?
Thursday through Sunday outside. Yep.
Outside, and here you can bring your own cigars. I mean, you can bring some bourbon and have a pour. Just keep it in here.
Yep.
And you can go next door to the speakeasy as long as you know the secret password.
The password. That's right.
So-
That's right.
But it's very unique, very cool. It's almost like going to 3 different places in one, and whatever your variety is, right here in the middle of town. So, luckily for me, my kids live here, and I live very close, right? So it's my new place. So in fact, they have lockers over here. Keith keeps telling me, Mike, you gotta get a
Number
locker.
35.
Yeah. So he's got up to 40. So we'll have to see if there's anything open, right? Now, so what do we think? What do you think? And I guess, what kind of cigar? With this, I guess. Here's the next question. What goes through your mind when you were going to pair a cigar with this bourbon?
All right. So I'm not an expert. I'm learning, and I hope to continue learning for the rest of my cigar journey. But in my experience in pairing cigars, there's 2 different ways to pair, right? You can go opposites, like contradicting sweet and sour, where they kind of fight against each other, or you can go complementary pairings. And I think with a cigar, I think the complementary pairing
Yeah.
works the best because you're gonna play on the flavors of each other rather than fight them, which works with like culinary stuff and a
Oh,
lot of the
absolutely,
food
yeah.
and even a lot of the cocktails, but not so much in my opinion in the cigar. So with this, this is 100 proof, which is not a mild whiskey by any means. So I wouldn't want to go with a really mild cigar because
Sure.
it'll be drowned out. You'll lose all the flavor of the cigar. You won't taste any of the cigar. You'll taste the whiskey, and your palate will be burned out from
Yeah.
that. At the same time, this is 100 proof, but I wouldn't go too incredibly strong on the cigar either because then you'll have the opposite where the cigar may overpower some of those notes of
Right.
the whiskey. So with this one here being what it is, I would probably go something sort of in that medium plus range. So on a scale of 1 to 10, a 6, 7, or 8. Don't go too mild, but don't go too strong, and try to stay there. And then with this whiskey, with that, right off the bat, I got that nuttiness, and then it's got the caramel, and it's got the vanilla. So I would go something that pairs along with that. So something that's going to be sort of leathery with a little bit of spice behind it. Not too much cocoa, which is a common flavor that's picked up in cigars. I don't think that this is a cocoa forward whiskey, but something that's going to have sort of that spice with the nutty and the leather, vanilla, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, I think if you want to maybe so you could see a little bit of the place, and
Sure.
Derek will go. He'll go.
Sure. We'll go pick out a cigar.
Pick out a cigar. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a large humidor, a large walk-in humidor with lots of options. I already have one in mind that I think that we should pair with this. So
Awesome.
all right.
ready? Let's go.
You,
Let's go. Try not to knock my
I'll get
stuff
out of your
over.
way. I apologize.
All right. Well, come with me.
You want some more?
All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So you're getting a little shot of the shop here, and we've got some customers in here with us. And welcome in. Like I said, I've got a pretty large humidor in here with lots of selection. Dominican cigars, Nicaraguan cigars, Ecuadorian, Mexican tobaccos. I've got Costa Rican tobaccos, really stuff from all over the place. If you follow me back here, you can kind of get a shot of the humidor. I think I've got something for every palate. It's something for everybody, whether you're a new cigar smoker or an experienced cigar smoker. I've got something in here. And what I've tried to do is not carry all the same brands that every other shop around us carries. So I've really focused in on the boutique side of the market, bringing in unique cigars, unique to Kansas City. And I've really spent a lot of time seeking those out, mom and pop shops, little tiny boutique factories and little tiny brands that I think are on that up and coming curve. They're on their way up. So, all right, I'll roll this out of the way. We'll head back up front and I'll grab that cigar. I think that what we should pair with this cigar is by United Cigars. And it's one that I actually smoke often. And I'm kind of excited because this is a cigar that we kind of broke. We had, out of the first run, I'll talk about it later, but out of that first run, we were one of the first shops to get it in the country. So we're going to smoke the Red Anchor. And the Red Anchor comes in a few different sizes, but I'm going to grab the Red Anchor Gunner here, which is a 6.5 by 43 ring gauge. And I'll grab 4 of these right now, and we'll walk back out here to the table. This is a great stick. I'll give you a little bit of the history of the cigar when we get back over there. But it is an old brand that I can't wait to pair this whiskey. All right. Let me sit down here, try to get it situated again. And here's one for you.
Thank you, sir.
And here's one for
Oh,
you.
thank you.
And here's one for me. And here's one for our lucky cornhole winner later. All right, while we're unwrapping this, I'll tell you a little bit about this cigar. This is the Red Anchor Gunner. And this is made in the Kellner Boutique Factory in the Dominican Republic. And it is the world's oldest cigar brand. Here, I'll grab a...
Oh, you got one?
We've got a fancy cutter. There's a learning curve with this cutter, too. This is
Uh-oh.
Le Fine is Lame. And this is... French design. It's a knife cutter.
Sounds like I'm gonna cut my finger off.
Yeah. It's sharp. It's real sharp. Cut that. Here, take this one.
Oh, thank you.
I'll just cut them real quick. All right, next time we'll get a cutter on the table.
Yeah.
All right.
So the tobacco smells very sweet.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. So again, I want to do a little bit of education here. When you cut a cigar, I see people do it all the time, and I see it online and in all the cigar groups on Facebook and on Instagram, and I see it happening here in the store. People cut way too much of their cigar,
Right.
and then they end up having issues with their cigar where it starts to fall apart. When they make this cigar, it's all held together with pressure. They take the binder and the filler, and they take the filler in their hand and they roll it into a binder. And I'll talk about what the binders and fillers are in this cigar here in a minute. And they put it into a mold, and they let that mold, they let that cigar, kind of take the shape that they want. And there's lots of really interesting shapes out there, but this is just a straight, what they call a parejo, which is a straight cigar. And then they take it out of the binder, or out of the mold, and it's ugly at this point. It's not real pretty. And they wrap it in that beautiful cigar wrapper leaf. And then there's nothing holding it together. So they take a couple circular pieces of tobacco and a little bit of a food glue, fruit pectin or starch glue or something like that. And they glue 3 circular caps. The industry standard is 3 circular caps that are glued right onto the tip of the cigar. And if you cut that off, and let's say, it'll be hard to see on camera, I think, but if I were to cut close to the label, maybe 3/4 of an inch of the cigar, an inch of the cigar, something like that, and you cut those 3 caps off, there's nothing holding the wrapper on.
So you lose all your integrity.
It falls apart. Yeah, and I see it all the time. And I'll see, occasionally I'll see cigars in the ashtrays even here that I hadn't caught somebody and they cut it and it fell apart on them, right? So all you really have to do when you cut a cigar is just barely expose the end. If you cut off just that first initial cap, if you cut that off, I'll blow the little dust off the end and take a draw. If I can pull air through, I've cut enough. You just wanted to cut just enough off to allow you to get a good draw. You can always cut a little more if you need to, but just enough to get a good draw, but not enough to ruin the integrity of that cap.
So let me ask you this question. So there's 3 ways that I know to cut it. There's probably more. You can use a punch, you can use a V cut, you can use a straight cut. Is there an advantage? Is there a disadvantage? Does it matter?
Right. For most people, no, it doesn't matter. Right. Most people, it's a preference. A punch will ensure that you don't cut too much off, right?
Sure.
And that's an easy, convenient way. Lots of lighters have punches on them.
Okay.
I have a cigar cutter bracelet that I wear.
Nice, yeah.
That's also made by Le Fine's Lamb, the same guy the same company that makes the knife. And it's a punch, and it's just easy and convenient.
Yeah.
But it does restrict the draw, right?
Right,
and
yeah.
when I want to smoke a cigar, I want to experience it with as much as I can. So I exclusively straight cut cigars.
Okay.
I wear this, and sometimes I'll forget my cutter at home, or I'll be out and about, and I won't
Sure.
have one in my pocket. But I exclusively straight cut. The V cut, you'll read online, and people are like, "Oh, it directs the smoke further back on your palate, so you can taste it and experience it in a different way." And while there may be some truth to that, the original design of the V cut, it came around in the 80s when they were using a lot of short fill tobaccos. So
Okay.
think like cigarette tobacco, where they chop it
Sure.
up really fine, and they use that as filler. Well, if you straight cut, you're going to have a lot more of those bits of tobacco end up in your mouth. And so they designed the V cut to kind of hold that in as much as you can,
Got it.
which is,
Sure.
I mean, and my dad is a V cut guy. He, I think, exclusively V cut cigars. He carries a V cutter. He uses the V cutter here. But the whole original intent of the V cut was to allow you to smoke less expensive, not saying less quality, but less expensive
Sure.
cigars, and not get those little bits of tobacco in your mouth. So that's why. All right.
Gotcha.
So,
No idea. Right? I mean, had no
I
idea.
mean, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, before I light my cigar, after I cut it, I always like to taste it. I take a smell of it. I sort of get a sweet, like hay, a little bit of like a grassiness to it, sort of a leather. Think of like being in, being out in the outfield with my baseball glove over my mouth,
Oh yeah.
taking a sniff of that, a little bit of that off of it, and that's what I get off the smell. No, but I always like to cold draw it as well. And a cold draw is where you puff on it before you light it. And sometimes you get some really interesting flavors before you even light the cigar, just tasting the raw tobacco.
Right, sure.
Well, not raw, but tasting the unlit cigar, you'll get some really interesting flavors. So like on this one, or shoot. I said I wouldn't pick something that had cocoa in the notes, but take a draw and see if you don't taste like Nestle's chocolate milk. Do you taste that at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never picked that up on my own, obviously, right?
But it's there. There's no chocolate in here. There's nothing added to it. It's just straight tobacco. But there's a little bit of that cocoa sweetness. For sure. Maybe a little bit of like a raisin, maybe. Although this one doesn't have.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, you say it. I don't know if I can pick those up. Like I can probably pick more stuff up in a bourbon than I can in a cigar, but it's based on your experience and your palate. Yeah.
Right. So, okay. Should we light it up?
Let's do it.
Let's light it up.
All right. Here, I'll let you guys light. I brought a big lighter
Go
over.
Don't want to burn that beard up there. Right?
Yeah, that's right. We can watch how you do it wrong.
All right. So while you guys are lighting, I'll tell you a little bit about this cigar. So first of all, this is the Red Anchor Gunner by United Cigars, and this is a brand that I've really kind of taken to. I like a lot of their stuff, but the Red Anchor is a unique line in their brand because it is the world's oldest cigar brand.
This is?
Yes, this is the world's oldest cigar brand. Now there were cigars before this, but this was the first brand to put a band on their cigar or a label and say this is Red Anchor, right? And this company started off in Holland in 1772. So.
Wow, yeah, it's on the label.
Yep. The oldest cigar brand.
So if you can see mine, I did mine wrong. I think I scorched the outside.
Mm-hmm. So I light the cigar, and when I light my cigar, first I'm going to toast it, and I'm going to keep the foot of the cigar out of the visible flame.
Just kind of warm it up.
Just warm it up. You'll start to see it. It'll sort of turn black, and then it'll start to glow just slightly.
Right.
And once I have it toasted, think of it like a marshmallow. You want to toast the cigar like you would a marshmallow on a campfire. Once I have it toasted a little bit, then I'll go ahead and draw on it. Again, keeping it out of the visible flame and pulling the flame up to it. What that's going to do is it's going to help you not get the tobacco too hot. There's sugars that are naturally present in the leaf. The plant is through photosynthesis. It's creating sugars in the leaf. And you don't want to carbonize those sugars. You want to caramelize them, so, just like you would with a marshmallow. So
I carbonize mine.
That's all right.
But yeah, I mean
This is a really easy smoke.
Right.
I mean it was real sweet to me when I first took it. It was very very mild and sweet.
So on this, just on those first couple puffs. I get a little bit of spice, maybe a little like espresso, and then sort of that leather. Again, baseball glove. Chewing on that little string on the end of my baseball glove out in that field.
That's a good call for that one.
That's sort of what I get. So this cigar has an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, a Dominican Monte Plata binder, which is a Dominican tobacco. And then it's got 3 different fillers. So it's got a little bit of Pennsylvania broadleaf. It's got a Habano 92, which I believe, don't quote me, I think that's a Nicaraguan tobacco. I could be totally wrong on that. But Habano 92, and then it's got Dominican San Vicente tobaccos. So it's got 5 different tobaccos in this cigar.
5 different.
So maybe let me ask this question. So obviously we have everything going on with tariffs, that kind of stuff. How do tariffs affect the cigar world? Because you seem like you have 5 different tobaccos coming from 5 different countries.
Yep.
So I mean, it has to just be insane.
Yep.
To
Tobacco,
kind of bring this stuff all over the place.
Cigar prices are going up.
Here.
Yep. Cigar prices are going up. Unfortunately, with these tariffs, we've already started to see price increases on the brands that we carry in this store, with more planned increases coming that have been announced but haven't been enacted yet. And not every company has increased prices, but it costs
Yeah,
them
but
more to do business.
sure.
It's
But
going to cost.
unfortunately, I mean, it's the kind of world that we're at
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Right.
we're a global economy. Like it's got to come from somewhere.
Mhm.
So
Right. So yeah. So this cigar, Red Anchor cigar, started in Deft Holland in 1772, and there were cigars out before that. The Spanish came and found tobacco in Central America and brought it back to Europe and started rolling cigars. There's a whole great history of tobacco in Central America pre uh, Europeans, but when they brought the cigar or the tobacco back to Europe, the Spanish at that time owned the cigar industry, right? They were in control of Cuba, and they were bringing all the tobacco back to Spain, where all the cigars were rolled in Spain. Um, and then it sort of branched out from there. So this one was out of Holland. Now, this factory in Holland burnt down sometime. I remember reading numbers from like the early 1900s, but I don't know when that factory burned down. But they created cigars with a red band, and that was the Red Anchor cigar. And so when you go into the corner store or the market or wherever they were selling cigars back in those times, you would go in and you could buy all these brown cigars, or you could buy the Red Anchor cigar that had a label on it, and you knew what that was. And that was the first time that it ever happened. So that kind of revolutionized the cigar world. When that factory burnt down, the company went defunct. They died with the factory. And this cigar was brought back for the 250th anniversary by United Cigars.
that's cool.
So it hasn't been in continuous production since 1772, but it was brought back for the 250th anniversary. And what was kind of cool with our shop is initially when they brought it back, they made 200 boxes of Red Anchor cigars.
Right.
And I got 6 of those 200. I don't know how I
that's
talked
cool.
my way into that, but I got 6 of those 200 boxes.
Wow.
And we've since sold out of those. But we were one of the first ones in the world to have
That's
Red
awesome.
Anchor cigars in this century. So very cool.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That's cool history.
So now, where are they being made now? What's
These are made in
Is a different company now that's making them? That you said?
Yes.
I saw.
Yeah. They are now made in the Kellner Boutique Factory in the Dominican Republic.
Gotcha.
So they have a long history. The Kellner family has a long history with Davidoff cigars, and if you smoke this and you like Davidoffs, I think you'll see a lot of similarities between Davidoff cigars and the Red Anchor. But very, very good factory. Hendrik Kellner is great at what he does and does a lot of really great blends, and this is one of those. So
very smooth. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I've taken a couple.
Are you picking up something different now that you smoked cigar and then
well,
you
not.
kind of mix
It's kind of taken the, and not in a bad way. It's just when I was just drinking this, I was getting a lot, getting spice, right?
Yeah.
It kind of takes the spice away. It
Yeah.
I'm getting, you get more of the flavor of the pour, I think. Versus,
I definitely experienced that. That was the first sip I've had since I lit this up.
you don't get a spice now. It kind of it almost like it toned it down a little bit, right?
Mellows
Like
it?
if adding an ice cube to bourbon changes the complexity, right?
Right.
I think it did the same thing where
kind of mellows it down.
Yeah, it mellows it down, and you're getting a little bit more of the bourbon taste, right?
Yeah,
Versus that. So, it's good. I mean, I'm trying to do both. But it's an real easy draw.
Yeah.
So tell me this. So I have this humidor at home. I think it holds 100 cigars.
Okay.
And I am always having to adjust because I can't get that perfect humidity. So what's the humidity percentage that you're running? Does it vary?
It varies a little bit throughout the day and throughout the year, but I try to keep it at about between 65 and 69% humidity in our humidor. And as you saw, it's a pretty big humidor, and so we have 2 humidification units in there that run through an RO system that filters the water and purifies the water, so it's pure H2O coming out the end, and then it atomizes it. The type of humidifier that we have, it's not even a mist. it's like a fog almost.
So is it a true fact that like a cigar in a humidor like that will last forever,
I don't know about forever.
or is that a myth?
I mean, I've
Let's debunk
smoked
some myths here.
I've smoked cigars from the 1960s
Oh, okay.
that were still very smokable.
Sure.
But as the cigar ages, which is something that people do, they age their cigars, they set them aside, they put them in a humidor.
Right.
I have cigars in there that I've set aside that I'm just waiting, and I think they'll improve. Not all cigars will improve with age, at least dramatically, but some definitely will. And the reason that you would age a cigar is to let the ammonia that's naturally present in the cigar, in the leaf, as a byproduct of fermentation,
Sure.
is to allow that ammonia to dissipate. And as that ammonia dissipates, you get less harshness.
Okay.
And if you've ever smoked, real cheap or really young cigars,
Right.
You'll taste it the next day, right? You'll have that sort of ashy
Sure.
taste.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking. Yeah.
Right. And that comes a lot, in big part, from the ammonia present in the leaf. So if you were to set the cigar aside and age it and let some of that ammonia dissipate out of the tobacco, you're going to end up with a cleaner burning smoke, right?
Nice.
A cleaner burning cigar and a better flavored cigar. So, but there's diminishing returns. It only
Sure.
goes so long. So most cigars that are in the humidor are aged somewhere around the 2-year mark,
Right.
with some that I have in there right now that have been aged for 12 years. But the manufacturers age them before they ship them out. And then when I get them, they're ready to smoke. They're ready to smoke as the blender intended. However, some of those, especially the darker, fuller-bodied cigars, can sometimes improve with some age as you let that ammonia dissipate, but only for so long, because as it's sitting, the oils that are naturally in the
Right.
tobacco are also evaporating and dissipating. And so when I smoke cigars from the 1960s, this box had been dried out for a while, and we rehumidified them
Yeah.
and lit them up. It tasted like nothing. There
Yeah.
was almost nothing there.
So you lose that flavor.
You lose a lot of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So they'll improve and improve and improve and improve, and then they'll hit a peak, and then they'll start.
Right.
They'll still be very smokable,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get as much out of it as you would as if it were younger.
Sure.
So
Kind of like bourbon. Once you take it out of a barrel, put it in a bottle, you're done. It stops aging. It's not like wine where it gets better with age. Like
Right.
Right.
Bourbon is meant to drink. Now I've never had something from the 1960s like a bourbon, but I mean, I doubt it.
I had some.
That 50, 60 years really helps it.
No, once it's in the bottle, I mean that's.
Yeah, it stops aging.
Stops taking
Yeah.
notes. Stops taking.
Yep.
It's just, it is what it is.
And
So-
part of that is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and I believe that even sort of the design of the bottle and how far they fill it and all of that is intentional as a way to stop the aging and stop the oxidation, and they don't want it to change once it's in the barrel.
Yeah,
right?
because oxygen is an enemy to bourbon. So like as soon as you open a bottle, start drinking. So this is what I've heard, and some can definitely tell me if I'm wrong, but like let's say your bottle gets half empty. Once you start getting more than half empty, that oxygen intrusion will start changing the profile. So something that might have tasted really good when you first opened it and you drink half of it,
Mhm.
it's going to start changing. So I've always heard that once you get to probably halfway,
Finish it.
you should start drinking that more.
Right.
Now, if it's like this, where it's, let's say 75, 80% left of the bottle, it's going to stay for a while. But the more oxygen you allow to come in the bottle, the more it's going to change.
I think we have a comment that we're supposed to, or a question
yeah,
that we're
let's
supposed
hear
to
it.
answer here.
So, how do they age them? Van Gibson said, how do they age them?
So aging a cigar is actually pretty easy. You keep it humidified and you leave it alone. You set it in the humidor, out of direct sunlight. You try to keep the temperature relatively stable, and you keep the humidity stable, and then you just let it sit.
So maybe on the humidity thing with the humidor, does it make a difference for the ambient temperature outside? Like obviously it's hot here.
Right.
Does it make a difference? Like do you turn it up, do you turn it down based on the outside temperature?
Right. So the system that I have reads the temperature as well. Right.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
It's
So
relative humidity is what it's doing. So it's tied to the temperature, and there's a whole lot of science that goes into behind determining relative humidity. But as long as you keep your humidity level stable,
Right.
and somewhere above 55% and below 72% humidity, you're not going to really run into issues. I see people sometimes that have cigars in their humidor, and their humidor spikes up to 85% humidity or something like that. Well, that's way too wet.
Yeah.
First, you're going to have draw issues, right? The cigar is like a sponge, and it's going to absorb.
Oh yeah, so it's going
the
to get soggy almost,
water.
right?
Yeah, and it's not going to burn well. It's not going to burn even. It's going to be hard to stay lit, and then you have an issue with mold, right? And plume, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Some mold is not necessarily bad, that's one of those myths that maybe we'll get into sometime with plume, but mold is not generally something that you want on your cigars. And at the same side, if you go too dry, those oils will start evaporating faster, and then when you light it up, it's going to burn too hot. It's going to burn too quickly, and you're not going to be able to taste the flavors because it's going to be too harsh.
Sure.
So you want to keep it in that range of 55 is as low as you'd probably want to go, and that's for most people in the cigar industry and most cigar smokers. That's way too low.
Yeah.
And then above 72, 73%, you start running into other issues at that other end of the spectrum. So you want to keep it somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because again, with that humidor I said I have at home, I like it. I try to keep it about 69, but it'll sometimes get down to 62, and so I'll put a little bit more water in the dish just to let it, because it's electric, right? Let it go. Then all of a sudden it jumps up to 74, so I'll take the tray out. And so again, I keep I'm chasing. I'm always chasing the number, right? So I'm always worried that I'm doing something wrong with that. So.
Well, if you have active humidification there, that's pretty cool with having an electric system that's going to be, monitoring and adjusting the level based on the sensors that it has. That's really
I don't
cool.
think it does, right? I think I got to kind of set the temperature.
It's time to upgrade.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's time to upgrade.
There's one right here you could have.
Yeah,
Go home tonight.
it's still up there. I noticed it, so
Yeah.
I look at it every time I come in. So.
But then the old school way of doing it is distilled water. Putting a sponge of distilled water in your humidor and letting that evaporate. But again, that's hard to control. It's hard to control the evaporation rate and the humidity in the humidor. So you have spikes and you have drops. There are a few different companies out there. Here at the shop, we sell Boveda.
And I have those packets.
Right. The Boveda packets do a great job because they absorb humidity if it gets too humid, and they give off humidity if it gets too dry.
Nice.
And so that's sort of the new technology, and very, very stable. That it stabilizes very well.
So if I were to take the electricity, if I were to unplug the electricity for this, just put a couple Bovedas in there at 69, do you think they're going to work in that? Are they going to, even though it's not like a redwood, box?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try that.
That's there's a lot of people that are getting away from the wood humidors. Tupperdoors is what they call them, or cooladors, using coolers. I have cigars in Ziploc bags, that have been in Ziploc bags for a year. The Spanish cedar or the mahoganies and the different woods that people use inside of humidors help regulate the humidity.
Yeah.
But that's, in today's cigar world, that's really all they're doing is helping regulate humidity.
So how long will the cigar last in like a Ziploc bag if you buy like a Boveda, and you put it in there?
As long as that Boveda is good,
and so if you change that out, really, cigar will last forever.
Right, and if the Ziploc bag is sealed,
right,
I mean, it should last a very, very long time. So, yeah.
So we've had Rabbi Moses. He's been making a lot of comments on here.
What's he got?
So no, he talks a lot about cigars. So I guess the question I would say is, do you also drink bourbon with cigars, or are you just a cigar guy? So just asking maybe your opinion. If you're pairing them, how do you pair them too? So he's asking there. So
I think they go great together.
No, absolutely.
There's a huge overlap. Yeah.
That's when I drink some bourbon, I jones for a cigar, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, but it's Tuesday night, I shouldn't, but it's definitely hand in hand.
Right.
And that's why we thought this would work very well.
But I think this was a great cigar pick because it doesn't overwhelm either someone that's new to cigars or getting into cigars,
right,
or new to bourbon. Like it's a good accompaniment to it versus overpowering you.
Right. Yeah. Well, and this is this is a cigar that's not going to be in every humidor across the country, but it's not so hard to find. You know,
Yeah.
it's out there. You can find them online. You can find them here, and there's a few other stores. I think there's a few other stores even in the Kansas City area
Okay.
that carry this cigar. But this isn't one of those that you'll never find. It's not a unicorn. It's not some, you know, fancy Opus X or, you know, high-end Padron. I mean, it's not a real cheap date. It's about a $20 cigar.
That's what I was just going to ask you. So what's this cigar go?
Yeah, this one is 1935 in my humidor.
Okay.
It's a box of 25 for about $450 for a box of 25 sticks.
So kind of like in the bourbon world, there's bourbon you can buy that can blow out your palate.
Mhm.
Is the same with a cigar where you can get a cigar that just kind of blows out your palate where, yeah,
Sure,
it's
yeah.
the same thing.
No, the blenders are not intentionally making those. But if you're a fairly new cigar smoker, you probably don't want to jump to a full-bodied cigar
Sure.
because that's exactly what's going to do. It's going to blow out your
Yeah.
palate. So
Yeah, Rabbi said he's just a
Just
he's just a cigar guy. Well, he's a coffee and cigar guy,
Okay.
right? So I mean,
That's
what's your thoughts on that? I mean, again, coffee, and it's boring. Sorry, Rabbi, but you know,
So like what kind of coffee? Are we talking about Folgers? Are we talking about like Nespresso, like blends? Like what are we talking?
You ask him, Rabbi. What kind of you drinking Starbucks, or you
Yeah.
what's cool with coffee and cigars is not every cigar I think will pair with every bourbon.
Sure.
Every cigar pairs with coffee.
Really?
Every one of them. It's a natural pairing. It's coming from the same soils.
So is that a morning? Are you a coffee drinker?
I'm a coffee drinker.
So is that a morning thing where you're like this coffee goes great with a cigar?
I'm a coffee all day guy. But
Okay.
but yes, you know, but think of where the coffee is coming from, right? It's coming from Central America. It's coming from the same soils that the tobacco is being grown
Sure.
in. It's a very natural pairing.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well,
We're getting the
and
Go-
Rabbi
go
said
do
he
it.
drinks any coffee, right?
Oh.
That's right. That's
Coffee's
right.
coffee, just like
Like
you.
it.
You know, anytime's
Like
coffee.
it.
So, I
Alright.
think what we're going to do now is, again, we've been going now for a little while. We're getting our feet, new at this.
Sure.
I will say, I'm a run, not walk guy, and as we go through this, I think Derek is too.
Absolutely.
I think behind the scene, behind the scene. They're more of a, they kind of they're holding the reins back, but I'd like to at some point, if you have a time where you have a cigar guy coming in here,
Mhm.
or maybe the holiday guys, maybe we can get them on, to something.
Yeah, bring them on.
We did something with another bourbon manufacturer here locally.
Mhm.
So if we can get them on at some point, I think that's kind of where we're looking to go, right? Just Folgers, no, not Folgers. Hi Taylor, yes, on Tuesday. Yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to play a game of cornhole. Heath is going to draw a number.
Oh.
The lounge is full of people that are dying to have this bottle and this cigar. So and they're all cornhole professionals. So we're going to draw. Heath is going to draw a random number. That person is going to be his.
Come over there.
That person's going to be his teammate, and Derek's going to draw a number. That person will be his teammate, and whichever team wins, we're going to step outside, play a game of cornhole. Whichever team wins, they will get the bottle and a cigar. So, and we'll, there might be a consolation prize too, right, for the not winner. So we have that too. So, hey, Soggy Acre, you know what? You wish you were there. We wish you were here too. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can, we'll do this on a night where maybe a Thursday night or a Friday night at some point when we feel, that we know what we're doing, but we're gonna get there. And we got a lot more
months.
people, and we'll just continue to do this. Hopefully you'll go and subscribe and like the page so you can follow us. Ash and Anvil, you're on
We're on
Facebook
and Instagram.
We're on TikTok. We're on Twitch, and obviously we're on YouTube. So go like and subscribe, and we'll continue to do these things. We're trying to put out some good content, that's again well, I think this is a good platform.
Yeah.
It's the next level from where we want to get. So,
Hi, Darren.
Darren, yeah, he was there earlier
Uh-huh,
today,
there
but
he
you
was.
left early, Darren. So, Darren, next time we'll hopefully we'll have some more people there, and hopefully you'll want to come and join us. And I'll tell you, it's a fantastic venue.
Thank you.
It's now you can see our little sign back here. I think it's now the Bourbon Bros KC home away from home. And we'll just continue to pick some good bourbons that we think, and we'll pair it.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
okay, so let me see. Hey, does everyone have a ticket?
We're good. Okay.
So we're going to. Well, they drew a number.
So 574 is the last of my three.
574 is the last three. If you got a ticket,
Who's the lucky winner?
574.
574.
Last three.
It's somebody in here right now. All right.
There you go. So all right, there.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I drew 572.
572.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right.
All right, there we
All
go.
right.
So, no,
574.
you're one of the teammates. Come
Yeah.
on up. You get to play cornhole. You know what cornhole is, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Are you good?
I play very well.
It doesn't matter. We'll
That's
have
all
a
right.
good
You're on his
time.
team, so
I'm
that's
on his
okay.
team. You
And
better do well.
and then, so again, you're
We'll
playing.
win
You're
this,
playing
don't
for
worry.
this bottle,
Okay.
and a cigar. One of the cigars that we're smoking now.
Okay.
Look at there. There we got our next lucky winner. So we're gonna. They're gonna pick up the camera. We're gonna step outside, play a. I don't know. We'll figure out a number to go to. Right. We don't have to go to
Yeah.
400. And
Who plays the
400.
400?
And I know. I'm
You don't play
kidding.
the 400?
And we'll
Is that a Mike's backyard to 400?
absolutely. That's the way I can
Wow.
win. People finally just quit.
Yeah. guess so.
And we'll have a little consolation prize too. And at the end, we'll probably draw a couple. Don't throw away your tickets. We got a couple giveaways. So again, that's what we're next. So
Want some more?
what are you looking for? It?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Oh, you
Oh,
want
get
your
the tickets
right.
back. All right. So yeah. So we're gonna step outside. Stick with us. Don't leave us.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a good group on here and some great comments. And Rabbi, hopefully you've subscribed. And Soggy Acres, play to 3. Well, you know what, Rabbi, that might we still may take a while to get to 3.
We'll see how good we
Let's
are.
do it.
So all right. So
All right, come on
and the lucky people are Brian and Audra. So all right,
Other
here
go.
we go, and good luck to you two.
All right. Well,
What color you want, Brian?
red.
Red. We'll go down to the far end.
Mike, keep it going. So we're going to go out here and play cornhole. What was your name?
Audra.
Audra. Heath. Nice
Uh-huh,
to meet
you and me.
Heath.
Here's a
We'll win a
bag.
bottle.
All right.
All right.
There's no,
Heath,
Let's do it.
where do we want to go to? We want to go to.
it's too hot for 400.
Okay. You want to go to? So you need to go down there. You're on that. You're down there. You're on Heath's side.
Fine.
We'll win a bottle.
Huh?
You ready?
So no warm up. We're just gonna go.
Wow.
How's that? So
Sounds good to me. No 400.
You cancel. Well, you got to cancel. You got to do
Whatever
it at
he
least the
says.
right way, right?
Need me to go first?
What do you want?
Where don't you guys go first?
All right. Here we go.
You need the whole thing. You got to get that middle.
We need new board.
Oh, you need
Oh,
you need
you need some.
your bags.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here.
Oh,
Thank you.
Important stuff, dude.
we're okay. It's okay.
Right, okay.
Okay, so no, you got that middle thing.
You can keep it off the board. That's perfect.
There we go.
Oh,
There we
Just
go.
going for it all, aren't you?
Oh!
Come on.
there we go. That's good.
Ah.
There we go.
All right, there's
I
round
like it.
one.
All right, so where are we at now?
What are we playing to?
Let's play to 12. 12 work? 12 work
works
for
for
now.
me.
Is that a payola? Is that a payola number?
You asked you asked for a number, so where's our number now?
I'm red. You're yellow. I'll let you go first.
What's the score?
No,
3
no, no.
3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh,
You can go to
We're
the
on
front of the
same
board.
page.
oh, we can go to the front of the board.
You can go to the front of the edge of the front of the board.
Right here.
Yep.
There you go. Look at
All right,
that.
there you go.
Really?
I'm coming for it. Oh,
There you go.
I think that's the first one I've ever gotten a hold.
What would like to see?
There we go. So you got 2 more points.
That's a 5.
So 5-0.
Man.
right. I'll just keep score.
All right.
This commercial brought to you by Bourbon Bros KC and Ash Anvil.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
There
I
we
think
go.
you got robbed on that one.
Shake.
Come on, knock it in. Oh my God.
Yay!
2 in there.
No.
Just
All right,
one.
Rabbi, thanks for subscribing. Soggy Acres, thank you for subscribing.
Here we go.
Thank you guys on the board.
Let me see.
We got that one.
Hey, Hannah, thanks for liking the video. Couple hearts. We love that.
3, yeah. 3 to 5.
Michelle D, we're not playing bingo. We're playing cornhole.
Yep.
Oh, almost there in the hole. Mr. Ken Finkel, we will definitely visit this place. It's turning into a home away from home. Taylor, thank you for subscribing. Wait, Taylor just subscribed?
Whew.
One for
Fake.
you.
We got one.
All right, so what's the score now? What do we got to score?
5-3, I believe.
So,
What's your name?
5-3
Heath.
Bourbon Bros.
Brian, not
So-
you. Go ahead.
Thanks for the likes. You know, I think we've kept a consistent number of viewers on here. We sure appreciate you viewing.
Yeah.
Those of you I threatened, you know, I appreciate you coming on. And we're getting competitive here. It's getting to be it's getting to be a pretty good game. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
I took the night off for my pro league.
Yeah, he's a professional. We had no idea. So now it's 8.
Take out your ankle.
8. What is it? 8-2,
Watch out
8-3.
for that hole over there.
Think it's there?
Yeah, we got 5. Yeah.
You had 8
We
now.
got more than
Yeah.
5.
Now you have 8.
What do we get?
So now you have 8. You had 3.
8
Okay.
to 3.
Okay.
8-3?
8-3. Bourbon Bros.
Come on. Bring it home. We're going to win on this round.
Not with that.
So Rabbi Moses, this is
Too hard, too soft.
one of your places away from home. So I guess you must be local to Gardner or close to. So
So close.
wow, people. I mean, we're getting good here. Oh,
There we
look
go.
at that. So 3 points. So
8 to 6.
8 to 6. It's a game. It's on.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. Jessica said, "Go Brian and
Come on, don't
Derek."
get that in
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Brian and
Wow.
Derek just hit a big one.
Ah,
There you go. Keep it away from there.
It's
Oh,
oh.
So that might be it if you.
Oh.
so
I think you got one
so
on that.
they had 6 and you had 2, so it's 4. So it's 10-8.
10 to
Ash
8.
and Anvil takes the lead. Soggy Acre. If it was
All
not
right,
45
this is
minutes
it.
away, I'd be there myself. Well, we'll make sure we start doing these on a night that you can come down, even
put
though
it
it's
in the
only
hole.
45 minutes away. Uber
That's-
can go 45 minutes.
That's as good as I know.
Come on now. Uber can come 45 minutes. There, well, that was a good throw.
Yeah, that's not my job. So.
This could be getting close to the end there with Derek's
It's on the board.
Derek's hammering him. Good
Oh.
throw. That was a great throw. Oh, look at that.
There we go.
I feel like you've been sandbagging it now.
Ah,
So that's two. So what was that? What was
That's
the score?
it.
That's
Huh?
it. That's
That's
it. They
Well,
won.
you know what? We have a winner.
Ash Anvil wins.
We have a winner. Ash
right.
Anvil takes the first inaugural
Woo!
cornhole bourbon and cigar championship.
Rigged.
They say it was rigged, so that was that was good. So well,
thank you.
no, well thank you. We got your stuff inside, and we got something for you too. Don't walk away sad. Don't walk away sad. So love hearing the
I
train.
gotta practice.
So well, I think that
I have not. I've seen the 8-year.
I think we're gonna end it here.
I
Hopefully
saw it.
there
So I live in
was
Missouri,
you found
but
this a
I've
little
seen it a couple
entertaining. I
places.
mean, we did. I mean,
It's
I
just
saw
not as
people in the
relevant.
background laughing
They
at
did-
us.
they did
So
some
I
drops on
hopefully it
Father's
was
Day.
hopefully it was at a good point. So we will well we'll plan another one. We'll do it soon. We'll post some coming soon.
Come up here.
Huh?
You want to come up here?
Yeah.
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 Come up here with us.
Okay. So well, here we are. So are we ready? So no, I think this was good. This was a collaboration that was probably a couple months coming.
Yeah.
And we put it together, you know, and I think it for our first time, I think it came out pretty well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was a little educational. I know it was for me.
It was for me.
You know, and we'll just continue to do this, pick some bourbon that's accessible to everybody, and pick some cigars that weren't made in 1774. And I'm kidding. As we learned tonight, keep it moist and keep it. That was kind
I
of
don't know
weird.
if I want. Well, I think that's it.
Keep it.
Let's call it a day.
keep it at a good humidity, and we'll we look forward to this. Derek,
Yeah.
we appreciate you hosting us. I think we'll start rolling this on and
Is that our new tagline? Keep it moist.
keep it moist.
Keep it
So,
moist.
all right, we're gonna divert, and you know, as we always end all of ours, it's not just about the pours, but the bond it creates, and it's created a great bond. So everybody, thank you again, and we'll see you soon. And happy pours.